welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and today we're going to be talking about vanilla perfumes. I have almost 60 perfumes with me here today and I've made a little tier ranking list. So I thought we could go through all of my vanilla perfumes because I've basically tried them all and I'm going to rank them for you. So if you are interested in a vanilla perfume, something budget friendly, something unique, any type of vanilla perfume, we're going to be talking about like almost all of them today. Like not really all of them, but just a lot of them we're going to be talking about today. If this is the first time you're seeing me, hi, my name is Emma and my username is Perfumerism and I like to talk about perfume. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe, please like. I just hit 75k, but I would love to hit 80k. So if you really want to subscribe and if you like this video, please like this video because then YouTube will show it to people and I want all the vanilla girls to know where to find each other. This is the designated vanilla girl spot for fragrances. Let's start off with some disclaimers. Unfortunately, I do have to do these because fragrances are so subjective. First, I want to say I don't want to piss anyone off with this video. Fragrances are subjective and I will be talking about my personal taste. I have worked in a fragrance store for 3 years, so some of these fragrances I've been able to work with customers on and kind of gauge how much the average person walking into the store likes them and how much they resonate with just the average customer. So some fragrances I can be a little less subjective about because I've actually experienced them in a store, but a lot of my opinions in this have to do with just my personal thoughts, so that you might not agree with that. And I'm not trying to change anyone's opinions here. I'm really like, if I don't like any of these fragrances, that really just has to do with me. I will never lie or say I like something when I don't, so I will be honest with you and upfront, but I will never ever try to put anyone down. If I don't like a fragrance that you wear, chances are I would like it how it smells on you. So please don't get offended. Also, another thing I do have to say too is I love vanilla fragrances. So any fragrance that will rank like 3rd or 4th tier on this list of vanilla fragrances would probably still list like on one of the top tiers in my overall collection because we are ranking, you know, if I have to rank my favorite movies, not everyone can be on the top, but my favorite movies generally are like all of these. So I like most of these fragrances and I'm just ranking them because I have to, but like vanilla is my favorite type of fragrance. So basically I'm just saying I'm ranking these because I'm ranking them, but generally these are all faves. Alright, so the #1 top tier is This Speaks to My Soul. The fragrances that speak to my soul are not only fragrances that are so good, but they're ones that really resonate with me on a personal level. They're probably one of my like top favorite perfumes. So they speak to my soul. The next one we have under are banger. So these are fragrances that are bangers. These are fragrances that are so amazing. These are just fragrances that are bangers. They're fragrances that are really good and I recommend. The next one is, okay, I meant to edit this, but it meant to just say like great or good story. And these are fragrances that are like good based on a certain criteria. So like they're not necessarily my favorites, but they're fragrances that are like a really good story, really well made, or like really good for the value. So I wanted to have this as like ones that I think I would recommend to other people, but aren't necessarily like my personal favorites. So great in terms of like story, perfumery, it's done really well, or it's just like really good for the value. The next one that we have is I'm on the fence here, so one that I'm kind of like meh about. Then we have Didn't Wow Me. So these are fragrances that are vanilla in a literal sense. It's vanilla, it's okay. So didn't wow me. Then we have Offensive. So these are fragrances that I strongly dislike, I do not recommend, and frankly offend me. Okay, let's start off with Vanilla Vibes from Juliette Has a Gun. This is a beautiful like salted vanilla scent, beachy skin. Like when I smell this is what a mermaid would smell to me. It doesn't resonate with me like super strongly, but I think it's like a really good concept and I think it's a totally solid perfume. I'm gonna say great story because I like it a lot. I don't actually own it, but I do really like it. I'm not a big like beach perfume person, but I really like this one. The next one that we have is Britney Spears Fantasy. This fragrance I added because it has a vanilla cupcake note. It's kiwi, lychee. It's a little tart and juicy and fruity. It's not like a pure gourmand like vanilla fragrance because even though there's vanilla cake, it's a really fruity scent. There's almost like a soapy, tart, bubbly note. And this was really popular because of YouTube. And I feel like my expectations got super inflated based on people reviewing this and like loving it on YouTube, specifically Jeremy fragrance. But I don't know if this wowed me. I don't love the bottle that much, but I just don't love it. I feel like there's that beautiful like cupcake note, but I think the tart rhubarb lychee tartness doesn't go that well. For me, it just didn't work. So I'm gonna say it didn't wow me, but I could maybe bump it up to I'm on the fence. Actually, okay, I'm gonna put this in the I'm on the fence here because so many people love it, and because so many people love it, I can't just be like, I don't like it. I haven't tried it that much, so I feel like maybe I'm missing something. I haven't given it enough wear. So next one, we have the ultimate vanilla fragrance, which is Indult by Tihota. Tihota by Indult. This is supposed to be the most beautiful vanilla fragrance of all the vanilla fragrances, and it is beautiful. It is literally vanilla extract that blooms into this like cotton candy smell. It is so powerful. like one spray and it just, is it pure vanilla? Yes. Is it incredible? Yes. I love this fragrance. It's newer to my collection, so it's not like a core staple just yet, but it is so good. Putting it in, banger. Okay, the next fragrance we have is Vanilla Crème. This is new from Michael Malul. I don't know if it's even launched yet, but it's like vanilla plus cream. I thought that based on the color of the bottle and the name, it was gonna be like a creamy, milky vanilla. This smells like shower gel. This is a pear scent, and I like pear, but like if you're gonna market vanilla cream, it better be vanilla cream. Just say it's a pear scent. There's not even milk in it. It's a creamy vanilla. I guess I could see like the vanilla cream, but to me, it's like the most mid bathroom soap scent. As the milk perfume girl herself, this kind of offended me because I don't think it smells like what it's marketing to smell like. And I would be upset if I blind bought this and it just smells like a public bathroom when I'm trying to smell like the most milky, gourmand, creamy, edible dessert. It's just not giving what I want it to give. And frankly, like it's not bad. Like I can smell this and like it, but I just don't like the marketing that's so different from what the fragrance actually is, especially when I'm looking for a milky, creamy scent and you're trying to capture my vibe, but it's not even a milky creamy scent. Like just market it as a pear fruity scent. I'm gonna put this one in offensive because I'm offended. Michael Malul, I'm offended. Next up we have Hypnotic Poison, which I actually don't have anymore. I let my friend borrow it to dress as Snow White for Halloween, and so I've kind of like forgotten about this scent. So I'm just gonna say I'm on the fence here with this one because it used to be one of my favorite scents, and if you were to come in my work and like look for a gourmand scent, I would recommend this to you. And if you love it, I would be like, yes, like I totally, because I used to love this scent, but now I don't like it anymore. So it's the kind of scent where like if I was your sales associate and I showed this to you and you loved it, I would be like, yes. But if I showed it to you and you were like, I don't really like it, I would be like, yeah, I understand. I can kind of see both sides. So I'm gonna say I'm on the fence here. Next up we have Nishane's 100 Talent Ways. This is a peachy tuberose vanilla scent. It's so, wow, juicy and like a little caramelly. It kind of smells a little bit like black opium, but there's so much more nuance in this fragrance. It's just so good. It's this beautiful, creamy peach with a touch of white florals, but it's not like overall super floral. It's just incredible. Like it's so good. It's one of my favorite scents and it's one of my most complimented perfumes. I've had the most amazing experiences with this perfume. It reminds me of this guy I had a crush on who like talked to me for the first time when I was wearing this perfume, and I was like, I love this perfume. 100 Talent Ways. I'm gonna put it into banger. Okay, my battery was dying, so I just took like a several hour break and we're back. Also, my camera tripod is like not working. I think that works. All right, so now moving on to YSL Libre Intense. This is one of my favorite designer vanilla fragrances. It's like a vanilla lavender scent. YSL Libre is my favorite of the Libre line. However, Libre Intense is much more vanilla prominent and much more of like what I would actually consider a vanilla perfume. However, this is one of my favorite scents. It's so long lasting. It's really accessible because it's a designer perfume. You can find it a lot of places. And I just think it's so good. Whenever I showed it to a lot of customers at work, they always loved it. So I'm gonna say it is a oh my god, it is a banger. Now we have a body spray, and this is the Sol de Janeiro 59 body spray. This one just came out at the beginning of the year. I love it. I think you can see I have a pretty decent dent in this bottle. It's not like the craziest dent you'll ever see in your life. However, she has been used and I have gone through 3 body lotions for this. I'm obsessed with this. It's interesting because I didn't really like it when I first smelled it. Like I get a bit of a plasticky note. If someone were to not like it, I would kind of understand, but the more that I smell this, the more addictive it is. Sol de Janeiro just has a way of making a fragrance so addictive. It's really just so good. And so because I love it, because I'm obsessed with it, and I layer this with everything, and I've gone through this so much, it's one of my most scented perfumes, I'm gonna put this in This Speaks to My Soul. And that is because I personally really like this fragrance and really connect with this fragrance, and it is one of my most used. I don't think it's better than, you know, Tihota is the most gorgeous vanilla in the world and it should be the top of every list, but because the top tier is the same as this tier, except I also have a really strong personal connection to this fragrance. Moving along, we have Caramel Cascade by Taskeen. This is a really popular like dupe for Bianco latte, except it's not a dupe at all. In fact, it smells really bad. It smells very plasticky, like burnt tires, like rubber. It's not as long lasting as Bianco latte. It doesn't have any of the magic and the beauty that Bianco latte has. This one I found actually kind of offensive. So no hate to you if you like this one. I've heard some people say they like it. I like the packaging, I just don't find the juice to be my style. The next fragrance that I have is the Vanilla Bourbon from Mix Bar, which is a fragrance brand that they have at Target. I actually only have the body spray for this fragrance. I'm gonna say Great Story. I really wish I renamed that, but what I meant with the Great Story is like something that's good story-wise, concept-wise, or like it's a good value. It's a fragrance that I think is good. And that would be this one. I really like to kind of just like spray this on as a nice like vanilla splash and go body spray. I think it's really good, so I like this one. It kind of has spicy. The vanilla is almost a little similar to the vanilla in Black Opium, where it's that kind of caramel, a little synthetic, really syrupy sweet smell. If you like that, get this. And I almost find, because this one's like lighter than a perfume because it's a body mist, you can get away with it being that syrupy sweet scent and it's not too overpowering, is what I found for this one. So I was a big fan of this one, especially for the price. I think it's like $9 or something. The next fragrance that we have is Nebras by Lattafa, and I will say this is a dupe for Eilish by Billie Eilish. They have virtually the same fragrance notes, where it's red berries, cacao, vanilla, and I could put Eilish's fragrance in here, except these two are so similar to me that my opinion is not different about either of them. My opinion on them is the same. My ranking for this is the same as Billie Eilish. When I had customers coming into my work and they wanted a pure vanilla scent, I worked at Shoppers Drug Mart, okay? So like the closest to vanilla perfume we had, like the most vanilla perfume we had was this. And so based off of what I had in the, like our inventory at the store, I would recommend people this fragrance. And if you want a vanilla fragrance and you only have access to like Billie Eilish's perfume and stuff like that, it's a really good option for an accessible vanilla scent. However, I definitely, like in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of vanillas, I really don't think it's that great. This fragrance is super long lasting, it projects really well, so there's a lot of parameters that it meets. However, I just don't find the fragrance to be that good because it's a little plasticky, a little synthetic, and just to my nose, it's just not where I'd like to be. Plasticky kind of Play-Doh scent. I could really see myself, like I could see this growing on me and me becoming obsessed with it. So it's something I would recommend to some, but I'm kind of on the fence here. It's not my favorite, I'm on the fence. I'm gonna put on I'm on the fence here. Even though it didn't wow me, I still would recommend it to some people. Next up we have Xerjoff Lira, which is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. If you have not smelled this, sample it from Twisted Lily, Emma 10 for 10% off. This was one of my first niche perfumes and I just love this fragrance. It's so funny because this fragrance based on the notes doesn't smell anything like the notes. The notes say licorice and all these things, but when I smell it, it is vanilla coffee cake. It is coffee cake with like vanilla frosting and it is so good. This is one of my most used perfumes, my most worn perfumes. It's like the citrusy, summery, caramelly gourmand, and it's so good. This fragrance speaks to my soul. Next up we have Golden Nectar from Nest, which is a fragrance that I actually have two friends that really like this perfume because back when I was in university, I would let my friends wear my perfumes. I had like 700 perfumes at the time. So if you're a good friend of mine and you become infatuated with one of my perfumes, you can have it. Unless it's one of my top perfumes or unless I'm planning to like use it for a video, you can probably have it. And I actually had two friends who wanted this perfume. I actually really like this perfume and I'm kind of sad I can't make videos with it anymore, but I'm just happier that my friends have it. This fragrance was inspired by Cleopatra. So it's this like beautiful kind of vanilla orchid scent. I'm gonna say it's a great one. It's a good one, I highly recommend. The next fragrance we have is called Amber Vanilla from the Seven Virtues. This is a new fragrance and it's kind of like a mix between your vanilla scents and your second skin scent. So it's a little bit like Juliet Has a Gun, Not a Perfume. One thing I really like about this brand is that they are all cruelty free. They raise money for charities, which I think is really cool, and they're also Canadian, which I as a Canadian admire and respect. This fragrance really impressed me. It's a sustainably sourced bergamot from Italy and upcycled sweet santal, evoking comfort, self-love, inspiring gratitude. The first time I smelled this, I was just blown away by how good it is. It's this beautiful like woody, if you don't like a fragrance that's like too sweet, this is perfect. It's very fresh. You could definitely wear it in the summertime. You could layer this scent, and I'm not usually an ISOE super person. It usually goes very pencil shavings to me, but for me, I actually don't dislike this at all. I think it's very well done. I'm gonna say that this one is a banger. I really like it. All right, next up we have a fragrance called Gentle Fluidity Gold by MFK. This is my bottle here. This was also one of the first perfumes I ever got. I got it from Fragrance Buy as well, and my juice has gotten a little darker. This is a vanilla juniper scent, so it has a little bit of a gin feeling, a little cocktaily, and it's not like edible gourmand vanilla. It's just like a really classy, very refined vanilla scent. It's like a vanilla martini. If that was a thing, I would picture that. Very like classy girl with a blowout. She's wearing expensive clothing is what I'm imagining. This fragrance smells very done up. It smells very put together. I absolutely love this one. It used to be one of my all-time favorite perfumes, but I just haven't been loving it as much. So I'm gonna put it in Great Story because I think it's a really good fragrance, but for me it should be a banger, but I'm just not as enthusiastic about it anymore because I don't resonate with the scent personally that much, but I know I should rank it as a banger, but I just like in my heart I just can't. So that's how I feel. The next fragrance we have is Amore Caffe from Mancera. This perfume is so good. It's supposed to smell like an affogato, which is like a coffee ice cream, and it is delicious. It has brown sugar, vanilla ice cream, and coffee, and bro, this scent is so good. It's this like syrupy, caramelly, beautiful deliciousness. It's so sweet. It's like dripping syrup. Again, you can sample it for Emma 10 for 10% off at Twisted Lily. I will link it in the below. Honestly, having a sample service is kind of clutch. So if you want to, actually, I'll write down, like, maybe I'll make a little like thing of all the Twisted Lily ones that you can sample if you want to. This one is one of my favorite perfumes. It speaks to my soul. I originally didn't grab it for this video, but I'll show you because I do have a good dent in it. It's called Amore Caffe, and I brought this to England with me when I went to England in Paris. It's so good. It's so good. The next fragrance that we have is also from Mancera, and this fragrance is called Velvet Vanilla. This fragrance smells like bubblegum. It's a tuberose angelica fragrance. So with the angelica, you get this green opening, and the tuberose is very white floral. Overall, this fragrance is just so sweet and bubblegummy, and it reminds me of when I was a kid, my grandpa used to live on a river, and there was this ice cream shop that was only open in the summer, and it was right by the river, and I'd go there, and I would always order this type of ice cream called Boo Boo Bubble. It was like a bubblegum flavored ice cream that had bubblegum in it. Don't ask me how I ate it. It was actually difficult to eat because at some point you're eating ice cream and also chewing gum at the same time, but I loved it. It was my favorite thing to do. And this fragrance evoked that smell of nostalgia, like childhood, bubblegum, and it's, I don't know, there's this kind of like whimsy to it. It's also so powerful and so beast mode. I don't know. I think that this is a fragrance that I don't really reach for this ever because it's just so loud. Really get a bubblegum note from it, which I think is from the tuberose that I'm a big fan of for the childhood emotional part, but it's not like my favorite scent in the world. So I'm actually gonna put it in I'm on the fence here just because I do think it's a great fragrance, but I do think it's like a particular fragrance, and if I was watching this video, I wouldn't want you to like go blind by it, but it's nice. And the next fragrance we have is Floral Street's Wild Vanilla Orchid. This is a scent from Jerome Epinette, who's a little slut because Jerome Epinette made this fragrance for Floral Street, and just a little while later he made a fragrance called Poets of Berlin, which is in here somewhere. But basically this fragrance is well known as a dupe for Poets of Berlin from Wilhelm Perfumery. These fragrances are essentially the same fragrance. They have the same perfumer, the same notes, except this fragrance is like $400 and this one is like 90 or something, and they're literally identical. But this one came out first, so everyone calls this a dupe for this because it's cheaper and it smells the same, but this came out first, and then Jerome turns around and then gives essentially the formula to another fragrance brand. But this is a really good fragrance. I don't have as much experience with it because I got Poets of Berlin first, and I love Poets of Berlin. So I don't really wear this fragrance ever, but it's the same fragrance. It's just because I'm used to Poets of Berlin. This is the same perfume. The same perfume. This scent really has that wow factor because they're the same, like side to side, they're basically the same. But this fragrance really has that wow factor. It has a really interesting bamboo note. It's a little green, a little like screechy, but so good. And I remember one of my housemates back in university used to wear this, and I would want to follow her around because it's just so yummy and so good. So I would say I don't really wear this, but it is a banger, so I'm gonna put it in banger. But okay, the next one that we have is Fresh Cream Warm Cashmere from Philosophy, which is another one of the fragrances. I feel similar to this fragrance of how I feel about Nebras and Eilish because it is a vanilla scent. It's a pretty damn like pure vanilla scent. I know that this is supposed to be like cashmere blanket, a little bit of coconut, but it's so synthetic. And if you don't really know what synthetic means, like smell this. This fragrance is like the epitome of a synthetic fragrance. Like it just smells like TV static a little bit. It just doesn't smell real. And I don't know why. Like it's a perfume. All these are perfumes, but it just does not smell real, and I can't get past that. And it smells like the same quality as a fragrance from Le Monde Gourmand, so I would recommend Le Monde Gourmand because at least this one's like $20. I mean, this one didn't wow me. It's not my favorite, but I have recommended it to people who want like an affordable vanilla perfume. If you want that and you don't mind something that's not super high quality because you just want something affordable, this is affordable. It's just in the grand scheme of vanillas, it's not the best. Now, we have the most famous Bianco latte from Giardini di Toscana, which is a beautiful vanilla scent. This is vanilla, this is caramel, this is one of the most long-lasting nuclear perfumes. If you put this on you, you're going to be smelling it for a week. It is caramel, it is vanilla, it has this kind of like coumarin, a little like kind of synthetic, a little spicy note that you smell when you first spray it. It is delicious and it is so amazing. It speaks to my soul. 1,000,000 out of 10. It's one of my favorite perfumes, so highly, highly, highly recommend it. Doesn't get better than this, depending on your criteria, but whatever. Let's just be fun. Doesn't get better than that. The next fragrance we have is Black Tie by Celine, which I smelled in Paris last year, and I could not get it off my mind. I just thought like this is the most amazing perfume. I need to get it. I need to get it. It's so good. It's so good. And I love the Celine packaging. I like the ribbing on the side. However, it's not that good. I find that I go nose blind to this really quick. It's like a really nice kind of powdery, very expensive smelling like lipsticky vanilla with that iris note that gives it that like kind of smells like makeup, like smells like lipstick. And I really like it, but it's so expensive and I love the packaging. I just feel like there could be more of a wow factor scent, but I think this is still a great perfume. So I'm gonna put it in great story. It's still just like such a good perfume and I would recommend it, but I really don't reach for it that much, so I can't put it higher because I don't know. It is a banger though. Next up we have Vanilla Skin by Fleur, which is actually coming out as a perfume. I think it's already released as a perfume. This fragrance has pink pepper, sandalwood. I only have the body spray version. Again, the perfume came out literally today, but this is again one of my favorite scents. It's, if not my favorite perfume from Fleur. I think this is really good. It has a complexity with a bit of a woody undertone, some pink pepper in the opening, but it's mostly just a really good vanilla scent. It's affordable. I think it's like $20-$30 for this, and it really lasts on me too. It's just like easy to put on, easy to spray. I really like it. I really like this perfume, and I'm very excited to see how they do for the actual like eau de parfum version. But again, it's a banger. This is a really good one. Next we have a fragrance that I decluttered, which is actually Dulce from by Rosie Jane. This is known as a dupe for Bianco Latte, and I can smell why you would think that, but it smells like void. Like it smells like if Bianco Latte was a circle. Say Bianco Latte is a sphere. Dulce is a Kinder Egg, all right? It's just the chocolate coating on the outside. There's nothing inside, there's no depth, there's no complexity. It's just a wall. You know, it's a wall you can just punch through, and there's no insulation, there's nothing happening under it, no base. It's just the outside of Bianco Latte, and it's so thin, like it's paper thin, like I can see through it. I've had some people comment being like, you're explaining a smell based on texture, and I'm like, yes, and yeah, this is a fragrance that I would say did not wow me. The first time I smelled it, I was like, oh yeah, it smells like it, but then a second later, I was like, no. Now we have a fragrance called Jany from Soradora, which is the most gorgeous baked apple pie scent. You look at the notes, it's cinnamon, puff pastry, baked apple. This fragrance is a dream. Right when you spray it, it takes you back to like Bath and Body Works Christmas candles. It's synthetic, but of course it's synthetic because you can't put a croissant in it, you know, and distill a croissant. You know, you have to synthetically make these notes, but it smells high quality, like the way that it's done and the way that it's made. You get the apple in the opening, but then it kind of dries down to like this background of you just walked into the kitchen and someone's baking cinnamon rolls a little bit. Like you get pastry, you get cinnamon. There is vanilla in here. I wouldn't say it's overall the most vanilla scent. It's definitely more just like very gourmand, not necessarily very vanilla, but it's a really good fragrance. I guess I made here best vanilla perfumes, or like ranking vanillas. I think it's a great story. It's super gourmand. So if you don't like gourmands, that is all you're getting from that. It's sweet, it's edible, and that's it. For now, I put it in great story because I think like conceptually it's a really good fragrance. It's not necessarily like the best vanilla, if that makes sense. Next up we have Poets of Berlin, which I already went over. I would put this in great story. However, and it's not Wilhelm Perfumery's fault because they didn't mean to do this. Jerome Epinette double dipped with this fragrance, but I still will put it in great story because essentially it's the same to me. This one I do actually have more sentimental feelings about because I had it first. I wear it more. I have to put it in great story. Now we have the best, most wonderful, whimsical, beautiful fragrance ever, which is the Cirque du Soleil L'Eau de Parfum. This fragrance is a gift to this earth. Not only is this real metal that was made by a jeweler. The co-founder of this company is a jeweler who made this. I've heard people online comment and say, oh, it looks cheap. It does not feel cheap. It feels like I am holding gold. It's heavy. It is the most gorgeous bottle. In this scent, you spray this and it is immediately wow, it's so good. And I know I can't stop talking about it, but this fragrance is so good and it's so long lasting. I will spray this on my shirt and I will smell it on my shirt for literally until I've washed my shirt twice, but in the best way. When this scent dries down, it is just vanilla. Like dry down on my clothes of this is so good. This speaks to my soul, and it goes at the front of the list because what they did with this is so special. Okay, next up we have a fragrance that is nowhere nearly as overwhelming. This is Choco Musk. I think I bought this for all of like $11 on Amazon, and this is again like really simple vanilla scent. It's like a vanilla chocolate scent. It's an Arab perfume. You can get it in spray form or oil. I have the oil. I never use this, and it's not bad. If I was at home and I don't have a huge fragrance collection, I just need a vanilla scent. This is good for what it is. It smells good, and if you just want something that smells good and smells like vanilla, then it's good. So I'm just gonna say great. All right, next Next up we have Vanilla Vice from Sniff. Again, if you want anything from Sniff, 10% off with Emma 10. This fragrance pissed me off because it had this like vanilla ice cream marketing, whereas all photos of ice cream, soft serve ice cream this, ice cream that. And then the perfume is this like really woody orchid scent. This fragrance is kind of like the vanilla crème from Michael Malul, where it ends up just smelling like Maud Vanilla from Ariana Grande, but they were marketing creamy vanilla, but it just smells like wood and God is a woman. It's not bad. I don't mind this fragrance, but based on the way everything went down, I'm offended. This is offensive to me. It's actually not bad. You can get it if you want. By the way everything went down, I'm gonna put this in offensive because whatever, it's fun. It's not that deep, but I want to have some fun. Next up we have one of my new favorite fragrances of all time, which is Noises Unmute. This fragrance is so good. This is vanilla, it's plum, it's cinnamon, it's labdanum, spicy, but again, wow. The way that I discovered this fragrance is they actually reached out to me before this brand launched. An agency reached out to me and they're like, hey, we were wondering if you want to work with a perfume brand that's launching soon. And I was like, you're gonna have to give me more than that. And they were like, okay. And they told me about the brand and they're like, do you want to work with us? And I was like, well, let me take a smell. I'll see if I want to work with you. So they sent me their discovery set along with all 4 of the fragrances. When I tell you, like I was already a little like, you're trying to get me to work with you and I haven't even smelled anything. So I was a little bit like, I don't know about this, but then when I smelled it, so good. And this scent lasts forever. The projection, the longevity, chef's kiss. And I don't know anything that smells like this. It's like a little like dirtier, like sexier version of Grand Soir. And it doesn't smell like Grand Soir, but like I could see it like filling the same niche. It's this kind of like sexy, like YSL Baby Cat, but like smoother, a little rough around the edges, really nice vanilla scent. Such a wow. It's like, yes, I will do a video for you. And I probably would have done one anyways. But oh my God, this is one of my new perfumes. Such a wow factor. Also, it's under $100. It's $85 and I think their discovery kit is like $20 or something. Next up we have Mon Guerlain by Guerlain, which is a scent that I will say I'm on the fence here. Honestly have really bad memories with it. You know how like scent and memories kind of intertwine? So whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, if you're wearing a perfume and something's happening in your life that's good, you will associate that perfume with whatever's good. So like people will wear a wedding perfume when they're wedding planning and stuff like that. Same thing is if you're wearing a perfume during the time where something bad happens in your life, you will have that association. And I had that association with this perfume. And then I remember meeting my ex's mom and this was her signature scent after I had worn it during like a traumatic event. And then I met her for the first time and I was like, oh my God, nothing on her, not her fault or anything. But I was like, trying not to be triggered. It's not my favorite perfume. It's not the first that I would go to recommend to someone. Longevity wise, it's a solid perfume. It's just not my favorite. Next up we have a fragrance called Alien Goddess by Mugler. I specifically have Alien Goddess Intense, which has coconut cream rather than coconut water. It's a little thicker and it has benzoin and vanilla, so it's really warm, sweet. It's kind of like a year-round scent for someone who usually likes tropical perfumes. A little coconutty, but it's really sexy, very cheeky, and it's also the perfume that will get you compliments. It's so strong and so long-lasting. I think it's a great fragrance, and I would totally recommend this to my customers. I think it's a really good scent, and it's so long-lasting. Next up, we have a fragrance called Hard to Get from my girl Jackie Aina. This is a whipped vanilla and citrus scent, and this scent is gorgeous. I find this to be so similar to the Cirque du Soleil fragrance. This scent is so good. It's like Cirque du Soleil, but it has lemon instead of that like red juicy apple. It's a banger. I'm gonna put it in a banger because this fragrance speaks to my soul. This fragrance is a banger. The next fragrance that we have is the Kayali Silk Santal Wedding Perfume. This is a rare item. I will tell you right now, people make this to be so much of a bigger deal than I feel like it is. Is this a good perfume? It's a good perfume. But like, is it amazing? No, I feel like it's just the fact that nobody can get it. You can't buy it anymore, that people are like, I need it. Like really never stood out to me that much. Like it's kind of just a synthetic-y vanilla scent. Is it good? Sure. It just smells like pure sugar. It's like lightweight, it's nice. It's a more like fresh scent, I would say, with the champagne and stuff. I wore this to hot yoga and bro, let me tell you, when you wear a perfume and you end up sweating like crazy, that perfume is gonna project. Like I was smelling it, and this perfume, it's really, really good. But again, you are not missing out on anything. It's a good perfume, solid recommendation. I love the story behind this perfume and everything, but kind of on the fence in the sense that I know it's so hyped that I feel like I need to knock it down in a peg just so I don't add into the hype, because you aren't missing anything. Next up, we have the Kayali Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. Offensive. I did not like this perfume. I don't know why. I know some people love it. I did not like it. It was probably one of my least favorites from Kayali. It was not like that bad, but I didn't like it. Moving on to another perfume that I also don't like, Vanilla Milk from Ellis Brooklyn. This smells like spoiled milk, and it was an insult to me in my milk series because it's really bad. This kind of is the perfume that made me realize I don't want to smell like literal milk. Like, I mean, I kind of knew that in the first place, but I started my milk series is because I liked fragrances that had a milk note. For example, Santal Calling from Ex Nihilo, which is a sandalwood scent, there's a milk note. And so when your fragrance has a milk note, it adds this like creaminess. Like say that this is the sandalwood, the milk just kind of smooths out the edges and adds this like overall really nice aura. So when I started my milk perfume series, I was trying perfumes with milk in them, but then I started trolling a little bit to say I want to smell like milk and all this stuff because people were saying you want to smell like milk when I was just trying perfumes with milk in them. So then I started trolling, but then it was a little misleading because then everyone wanted me to try just milk perfumes, which is actually not my vibe. But milk notes, when done right, so good. But this perfume, pure milk, not a big fan. Kayali Rock Sugar Vanilla Candy. This is another perfume that I am on the fence here. It's so long lasting. It smells really good. I love the packaging. The scent itself is just a lot. It's really a lot. And the opening has this really strong medicinal bubblegum note that I'm not a big fan of. It's just the dry down is so beautiful, but this smells like La Belle, but just kind of off. And so I would say just get La Belle instead of this. I could see other people liking it. It's just a little too much. Yes, but no. Okay, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence for sure. And next up we have, oh, another Kayali. Jesus, we have all the Kayalis in a row. Kayali Vanilla Oud. This was a really good scent from Kayali. It's one of my faves. There's a fluffiness to this. I think that's the white musk. Sure, there's oud, but this scent is really clean smelling to me. It's like a really nice, fluffy, like date, girlfriend, clean perfume. I think I was talking to my housemate and we said, this is what I want to smell like. Like, this is what I want someone to perceive me as on a date. Like, it's just a really nice kind of clean, fluffy, slightly woody vanilla scent. I would say that the oud in the name is a little misleading because it's not very oudy at all. I highly recommend this one. I would say it is a great fragrance. Next up we have Donna Born in Roma, which I'm gonna put immediately into banger, great story, great fragrance. This is so good. When I worked as a sales associate, this was my go-to to suggest to people because everyone liked it and it lasts and it projects, like it performs. It's just such a good perfume. I have every single version of Valentino Donna Born in Roma. They're all good. I remember I was at a party one time in university and this group of girls walks in. I asked who was wearing Donna Born in Roma. All of them were. They had one friend who was wearing it and everyone was like, that smells so good. And she goes, I got you guys. She sprayed all of her friends down and they all walked into the party, all of them wearing this. I just got a whiff of Donna Born in Roma and it was the best thing ever and it was girl power. Should I put it? Okay, I'm gonna up it to banger because it's a banger. Next up we have Black Opium, which I will say I'm on the fence here because I don't like it. It doesn't wow me, but I know people who love this perfume. It's super long lasting, projects like crazy. You like pear and you like caramel and you like something sweet, head turning for the club. Get that. For me, it did trigger my headaches. Next up we have That Girl Viral Vanilla from Paul Riax X Okcha, which I think this perfume is, I don't know, like $90. And it's supposed to be like a Bianco latte dupe mixed with some other fragrances. This is supposed to be like that vanilla fragrance. You know, there's like vanilla, honey, coconut, marshmallow, and it's really good. I think it's a really well done fragrance. It's very similar to Bianco latte. The thing I will say, however, is Bianco latte has this kind of like synthetic note, especially in the opening, and a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people say, I don't like the synthetic note. This fragrance kind of amps up and like leans into that synthetic note. So if you smell Bianco latte and you don't like the synthetic note, you might not like this one as much, but that's all I say. Next up we have Commodity Gold, which is an aromatic vanilla. I remember I used to spray this perfume on and read, and when I got into books, this was the perfume that I would wear. It's just like G Water, except it doesn't have a slur in the name. From Byredo, very similar kind of vibe. This kind of like unisex aromatic vanilla. It makes me think of like a thrifted sweater, and I think it's a banger. Next up we have La Rhapsody Noir from Dulcita. This is like kind of like a tobacco-y aromatic scent. It's not necessarily for everyone because you really get these like aromatic tobacco notes mixed with like juniper or something. So there's a lot going on. It's very niche, literally niche. Like this fragrance is playing with something, but I really like the story. So Pisara is the perfumer for this brand and the owner, and she is Thai, and her dad is a really famous Thai poet, and all of her fragrances are named after his poems, which is the sweetest concept like ever. And this perfume is one of my favorites from them. It's just like such a good scent. So I will say I want to put it in banger, but I'm not like so obsessed with the perfume, you know? I love this. So I'm gonna say like in terms of the story, in terms of everything, this is a really solid perfume. So I like it. Next up we have a fragrance from Sol de Janeiro. This is Cheirosa 40. This is a plum and vanilla scent. I went to Versailles last summer. I brought this fragrance with me. It kind of doubled as something that would cool me down. I could just keep it in my purse and just like cool myself down with the mist. I think this fragrance is so good. I love that like juicy plum note with the vanilla. I think that this is also great, solid perfume. Highly recommend. And it is one of my most dented perfumes of all time. Next up we have Scarlet Poppy Intense from Jo Malone. This is a fig, poppy, tonka bean scent. It's a lot more quiet, subdued, fluffy, very like comforting scent. And I almost get like a cherry bit. It's probably from the tonka bean. And there's like a clean musk happening in this too. I'm gonna put it in banger. I think this is a really good perfume. Next up we have Ani from Nishane, which is a gingery, spicy fragrance. When you look up the best vanilla perfumes, this is always everyone's recommendation. I'm also gonna put this in Great Story because it's a solid pick. It's a solid fragrance. It doesn't resonate with me personally, but I think it's a solid pick. You get a lot of the ginger in the opening. Vanilla 28 is one of my best vanilla perfumes. It's one of my first perfumes that I've repurchased. It's just like such a good fragrance. I'm gonna put it in a banger. It's one of my favorite vanilla perfumes. I think it's so good. Van Ecstasy X by Lorenzo Pizaglia is one of my most expensive vanilla perfumes. If you look at this note breakdown, you're about to be catfished like crazy because what are you gonna expect this to smell like? This perfume smells like chocolate. And if you don't believe me, read the reviews. I made a video talking about this perfume. I put up the notes before I ever said my thoughts about this perfume. And it caused people to blind buy it and say, this doesn't smell like vanilla because this perfume smells like chocolate. And in my video where I reviewed this, I smell it and I say, this smells like chocolate, 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 chocolate. Tell me why people went and bought it. And then it said, it smells like chocolate because that's what I said. I'm not actually frustrated with the people who did that. It's just that the notes don't smell like the perfume. But this scent is so high quality, so beautiful. It offends me because it doesn't smell like vanilla. I mean, this fragrance is a banger. I would put it in banger, but I think it's funny and there's too many bangers, so I'm gonna put it in offensive because it's offensive. Dama Bianca is the most beautiful, wedding-worthy kumquat vanilla scent that smells like an angel jumping down and like an angel floating down from the sky. It's like twinkly and sparkly and fluffy and it's like a cloud and it really has similar vibes to this. Really similar vibes, except this is very sugar. This is just elegant, classy, banger, banger. It's so good. Next up we have Burberry Goddess, which is another banger because it is one of the best designer vanilla perfumes. It's so long lasting, so good. Banger, banger. Love it so much. Would highly recommend it. Next up we have Crème Vanille from Le Monde Gourmand. Le Monde Gourmand. This fragrance doesn't have vanilla in the notes, but it's called Crème Vanille. Interesting like apricot scent. It's a little like medicinal, but then on the skin it goes a little creamy. You get a lot of brown sugar. I think for the price it's not bad. It's not the best like vanilla perfume, but it's a very interesting scent. Like it's kind of fruity and kind of vanilla-y and kind of sugar. So if you want an affordable perfume, I think this is a solid pick. I'm gonna say I'm on the fence here, but I would really put it in like solid perfumes, but it's kind of new to my collection. I'm gonna put it in the fence. This is Vanilla Woods from the Seven Virtues. This is another one of the best go-to like pure vanilla scents. This is purely vanilla and maple syrup. There's kind of like a syrupy aspect to this perfume. Like it's very sweet, actually kind of macerates and gets deeper in color over time, so you end up with this really rich, long-lasting vanilla perfume. I think it's very, very good. I'm gonna put it in banger. It's a banger. Then we have This Is Her from Zadig and Voltaire, which is offensive because this perfume is so strong and long lasting that it just choked me out and it gave me the worst headache of my life. And I know that people love it, but it's just something about this fragrance just did not work for me. It just didn't work out for me. It was so woody and I just didn't like the hazelnut. I don't know, something about this perfume I just did not agree with. Not my favorite. Okay, 2 more left to go. We have Altair from Parfum de Marly. This is a unisex scent and it's a kind of like fresh vanilla scent. This was a go-to for me this November. I wore this all of fall and it's just such fall vibes. Like this perfume is so good for fall, especially with the brown color. So perfect. It's so Christian Girl Autumn. It's really so beautiful. And if I were to smell this on a man, Parfum de Marly just does the best vanillas. Banger. Finally, we have Namat Vanilla Oil, which is alcohol-free, cruelty-free, and vegan. This is nice. Apparently it leaks. I haven't had any leaking, but mine is on so tight. This fragrance smells really similar to Tihota, which is a really, really expensive vanilla perfume. And the vanilla oil, it's just so good for layering. If you need a perfume that'll make your other perfume last longer, put this on your wrists and then spray your perfume on. I just think it's so versatile. It's affordable, which I like, and it smells really good. So definitely banger. And then we're done. That is all. That was my final ranking. I'm pretty content with my picks. I really, really like vanilla scents, and even the ones that aren't ranked at the top, I still really like. And if you click through this video, some of the perfumes I ranked in offensive, I don't even dislike. It's literally just because I have like a funny story that I put them in offensive. But yeah, so that was my video. Thank you for watching. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. Do you guys want a gourmand perfume ranking video? Do you want a green perfume, floral perfume, summer perfume ranking video, or anything else? It doesn't have to be a ranking video. Just let me know what you want to see from me, and Also, big giveaway coming soon. You guys, I have so many fragrances and so much PR. I was thinking of doing one when I hit 25K on Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, do it now. I'm at 21K. And if I hit 25K, I will do a giveaway as soon as I hit that. So follow me now because I'm already starting to pack the boxes. I have so much stuff to give away. So if you want to be in my giveaway, follow me then. I'll see you guys later. Bye.